Welcome to the tutorial on managerial accounting. Today the chapter is variable costing and segment reporting. When a manager's bonus is influenced by his or her company's reported profits, then the manager try to boost his or her profits by producing more units. And this incident occur due to absorption costing, because in absorption costing managers can artificially increase profits if he or she can increase the quantity of productions. And in this chapter we will learn the reason behind this. Two applications of the contribution format income statement. If you don't know how to prepare the contribution format income statement, you can watch the previous tutorial uploaded by me. And since this chapter is dealing with the variable costing and segment reporting on the basis of cost behavior, there are three types of cost: variable cost and fixed cost and mixed cost. And contribution format income statement is prepared on the basis of variable costing approach, and there are another approach which is called absorption costing, and the income statement under absorption costing is used for the external reports. However, in this chapter we are going to learn about the two applications of contribution format income statement. The first one is we can compare what is the difference between the absorption costing income statement and variable costing income statement, and the second application would be about how the contribution format income statement can be used to prepare segmented income statements. That means contribution format income statement can be used for segmented income statements. Before knowing the segmented income statement, we need to know what is segment. A segment is a part or activity of an organization about which the managers would like cost, revenue and profit data. I mean, segment can be a division, individual stores, geographic regions, customers, product lines. So we can prepare segmented income statement on the basis of division, individual stores, geographic regions, customers and product lines. Variable costing income statement and absorption costing income statement. In the variable costing income statement, we follow the contribution format income statement, and to know the contribution format income statement you can watch the previous tutorial uploaded by me. Variable costing definition can be known in the another previous tutorial where we have classified the cost according to the cost behavior. Besides the variable costing income statement, there is another income statement that is called absorption costing income statement, and in this income statement we don't classify the variable cost and fixed cost. In case of variable costing income statement or contribution format income statement, we classify the variable cost and fixed cost, and we initially deduct the variable cost from sales, then we deduct the fixed cost. However, there is important consideration in variable costing and absorption costing income statement, which is the net operating income under the variable costing and absorption costing will differ, and the reasons of the difference arises from the fixed manufacturing overhead, which is shown differently in variable costing and absorption costing. You can learn the details in the next slide. In variable costing approach, we include the direct material and direct labor and variable portion of manufacturing overhead for calculating the product cost. I am repeating, for calculating the product cost, we only consider direct material, direct labor and variable portion of manufacturing overhead. For your clear understanding, we can say that manufacturing overhead can be classified into two categories. One is variable, another one is fixed. But the fixed portion is not shown in the product cost under the variable costing. There is another name of variable costing, which is direct costing or marginal costing. Under the absorption costing approach, we calculate the product cost by including direct material, direct labor and variable and fixed manufacturing overhead. In the variable costing, we will only consider direct material, direct labor and variable manufacturing overhead, but in absorption costing, we will also add this fixed manufacturing overhead with the other cost to calculate the product cost. And there is another name of absorption costing, which is full cost method, because we are considering full cost, I mean all the cost regarding the manufacturing process. Here fixed manufacturing overhead and variable manufacturing overhead, direct material, direct labor. But in case of variable costing, we will only consider these three: one, direct material, direct labor and variable portion of manufacturing overhead. And in absorption costing, we also add fixed manufacturing overhead. For your clear understanding regarding the difference between variable costing and absorption costing, we can see there is a figure. Here we can see these are the manufacturing cost and these are the non-manufacturing cost. Under the manufacturing cost, we can see direct material, direct labor, variable manufacturing overhead, fixed manufacturing overhead. And under the non-manufacturing overhead, selling and administrative expense. In both scenario, this selling and administrative expense is not included in the product cost. These two costs are directly shown to the income statement as a period cost. But the main difference between the variable costing and absorption costing differs in these four costs. Here, direct material, direct labor, variable manufacturing overhead, fixed manufacturing overhead. Under the variable costing, first 3(1), direct material, direct labor and variable manufacturing overhead. This first 3(1) is considered as product cost. And under the absorption costing, fixed manufacturing overhead is also added with the above 3 to consider the product cost. And as we already aware that the product cost is not shown as a expense in the income statement, it is primarily shown in the balance sheet as a inventory. After that, the portion of product cost which is sold is shown as cost of goods sold as a expense in the income statement. The main difference of variable costing and absorption costing is that in variable costing, we only show the above 3: direct material, direct labor and variable manufacturing overhead. And in absorption costing, we also add the fixed manufacturing overhead with the other 3 cost to consider the product cost. I think this table will give you a very clear understanding about the difference between variable costing and absorption costing. Here we can see in the variable costing, direct material, direct labor and variable manufacturing overhead are considered as product cost, but in absorption costing, we also add the fixed manufacturing overhead with the direct material, direct labor and variable manufacturing overhead for product cost. And in both cases, variable costing and absorption costing, selling and administrative expense are shown as period cost. But in case of variable costing, the fixed manufacturing overhead is also shown as period cost. But in absorption costing, this fixed manufacturing overhead is considered as product cost. So this is the main difference. In variable costing, we only show this direct material, direct labor and variable manufacturing overhead as product cost. But in case of absorption costing, direct material, direct labor and variable manufacturing overhead plus fixed manufacturing overhead are included in product cost. Here is an example to give you clear idea about the main difference between variable costing and absorption costing. Here we can see the unit product cost calculation under the absorption costing and variable costing. Here we can see beginning inventory 0 units, units produced production 40,000 units, units sold 35,000 units, selling price 120 per unit. However, this all the data will not be used for calculating the unit product cost. For your better understanding, I have shown some imaginary data. Here you can see these are the manufacturing cost and these two are the non-manufacturing cost. Here you can see marketing and administrative expense. Marketing cost is also known as selling expense. So this selling and administrative expense are not considered in product cost. In both variable costing and absorption costing, the selling or marketing and administrative expense are shown as a period cost and directly presented in the income statement. But the main concern is manufacturing cost. Here we can see direct material 30. In absorption costing and variable costing, in both cases, we show the direct material 30. Here direct labor cost 14, direct labor 14. Variable manufacturing overhead cost per unit 4. Here variable manufacturing overhead 4. And this is the total fixed manufacturing overhead, but we are calculating the unit product cost. That's why we will divide this fixed manufacturing overhead by the units produced. Here units produced are 40,000. So if we divide the fixed manufacturing overhead with the production, then we will get the fixed manufacturing overhead per unit. And the main difference we can see, we are showing the fixed manufacturing overhead in the absorption costing, but in variable costing we don't include the fixed manufacturing overhead for calculating the unit product cost. This is the main difference between the absorption costing and variable costing. Again, I am repeating, fixed manufacturing overhead is shown in the absorption costing or full costing, and in variable costing we don't show the fixed manufacturing overhead. Although it's a manufacturing overhead, but in marginal costing or variable costing we don't show the fixed manufacturing overhead. And for preparing contribution format income statement for the internal managers, we apply the variable costing approach. I would like to remind you that absorption costing reporting is used for external use and it's the common or traditional format. Generally, most of the companies prepare absorption costing or full costing for the external reporting. This is the common financial reporting approach. But for internal managers, we prepare the contribution format income statement, and for preparing the contribution format income statement, we apply the variable costing approach. Now practically we are going to prepare the income statements under variable costing and absorption costing, and this is the problem or question from which we will prepare the income statement under variable costing and absorption costing. This is the question. Here we can see data concerning the Weaver Light Aircraft's operation appear below. These are the data from a aircraft company. They produce the aircraft. Here we can see selling price per unit. Here per aircraft means per unit. Although the figure is higher, but for aircraft this is common. However, the selling price is showing as per unit. We can see 100,000, direct material 19,000, direct labor 5,000, variable manufacturing overhead 1,000, fixed manufacturing overhead 70,000, variable selling and administrative expense 10,000, fixed selling and administrative expense 20,000. This 70,000 and 20,000 are the total cost for the particular period, I mean here 1 month. But these costs are per unit cost. The left column is showing the per unit cost and the right column is showing the total cost. And there are some information. Beginning inventory in January 0, February 0, March 1. Units produced in January 1 unit, February 2 unit. Here unit means aircraft, 1 aircraft, 2 aircraft, and in March they produced 4 aircraft. However, from this production they have sold in January 1 unit, February 1 unit, and in March 5 unit. And ending inventory here 0 unit, here 1 unit, and here 0 unit. We can see in the January there is no beginning inventory, there is a production 1 and they have sold all the units. But in February they have produced 2 units but they have sold 1 units. That's why there is a ending inventory, and this ending inventory will be the beginning inventory for the next month. Here this ending inventory 1 is the beginning inventory for next month, I mean March, and they have produced 4 unit in the March 4, and beginning inventory 1, 4 plus 1 5, they have sold in March 5 unit. And in variable costing and absorption costing, the net operating income differs when the company don't sold all the units, then there would be a difference between the net operating income. I will show in the next slide why the difference occurs. However, from this question we are going to prepare the income statement under variable costing and absorption costing. Before preparing the income statement, we need to calculate the product cost. Here we can see in variable costing the product cost, absorption costing the product cost. We can see in absorption costing product cost we have shown January, February, March, but in variable costing the unit product cost we have shown only one column. Don't be confused. In variable costing this item are same for all month. Here material 90,000, direct labor 5,000, variable manufacturing overhead 1,000. These item are same for January, February, March. That's why I have not repeated for every month, because in variable costing it is unique. You are only showing direct material, direct labor and variable manufacturing overhead as a unit product cost. But in case of absorption costing, you are also including the material, labor, variable manufacturing overhead, plus this is the additional cost, I mean the fixed manufacturing overhead. Here fixed manufacturing overhead is 70,000 and this is the total cost, but we are calculating the unit product cost. Here unit product cost, this item are the unit cost, but this 70,000 is not the per unit cost or per aircraft cost. This is the total cost. That's why for calculating the unit product cost we need to divide the fixed cost by the amount of production. Here we can see in January the amount of production is 1, so we have divided 70,000 by 1, 70,000, and in February the production is 2, so we have divided 70,000 by 2 to get the per unit cost for the February. Here we can see 35,000, and in March we have produced 4 unit, so 70,000 divided by 4, so this is the fixed manufacturing overhead per unit for March. For calculating the per unit fixed manufacturing overhead we have divided the fixed cost, because we can see this is the per month cost and this is the per aircraft cost or per unit cost. That means this 70,000 is the total cost, and for calculating the per unit cost or per aircraft cost we have divided the 70,000 with the production, and ultimately here in January the unit product cost under the absorption costing is 25,000, in February 60,000, and in March 42,500. But in case of variable costing, this 25,000 is unique for January, February and March. From this unit product cost, we are going to prepare the income statement under variable costing and absorption costing in the next slide. In this slide, we are going to learn about the main difference between the income statement under variable costing and absorption costing. Here we can see this is the income statement under variable costing or contribution format income statement, and in the right side we can see the absorption costing income statement. We are already aware that in contribution format income statement we calculate the contribution margin by deducting the variable expenses from the sales. This same concept will be used here. In calculating the contribution margin, we deduct the variable expense from sales. Here we can see sales 100,000, 100,000 and 500,000. From the question we can see units sold 1, 1 and 5, and per unit selling price 100,000. So if we multiply the units sold with the unit selling price, then we will get the sales here 100,000, 100,000 and 500,000. And from this sales we will deduct the variable expenses. Here we can see cost of goods sold. This is the place where we will apply the product cost approach. Here we can see we are showing the variable costing approach, and under the variable costing approach the per unit product cost is 25,000. Here you can see per unit product cost under variable costing is 25,000, and we are showing it 25,000, and this one is indicating the sale unit. Here you can see units sold 1, 1 and 5. So with this 25,000 product cost under the variable costing, 25,000 multiplied by 1, 25,000, 25,000 multiplied by 1, 25,000 and 25,000 multiplied by 5, 125,000. So this 5, 1 and 1 is indicating the units sold. You can see 1, 1 and 5. Since in variable costing or contribution format income statement we deduct all the variable expense from the sales, there is another variable expense which is variable selling and administrative expense. Although this is not the product cost, but since we are preparing the contribution format income statement, we need to deduct all the variable expense. From the question we can see variable selling and administrative expense is 10,000. Since it is variable expense, it will differ due to the amount of units sold. Here we can see we are multiplying this 10,000 by 1 because in January we have sold 1 unit and the amount is 10,000, and in February the same amount 10,000, but in March we have sold 5 units, so the variable expense will differ with the amount of sale. So 5 unit 10,000 variable and selling expense, ultimately 50,000. This is the variable selling and administrative expense for March. However, these two items are variable cost. If we add these two costs, here you can see 35,000, 35,000 and 175,000. And now this total variable expense would be deducted from the sales. If we deduct the variable expense from sales, we will get the contribution margin. This is the contribution margin, 65,000, 65,000 and 325,000. And from this contribution margin we will deduct fixed manufacturing overhead and fixed selling and administrative expense. We can see in variable costing or contribution format income statement we deduct all the variable expense to get the contribution margin, then we will deduct all the fixed expense to get the net operating income. From the question we can see fixed manufacturing overhead 70,000 and fixed selling and administrative expense 20,000. So 70,000, 20,000, everywhere same amount. I think the total fixed cost is 90,000, 90,000 and 90,000. And from this contribution margin we will deduct this fixed expense to get the net operating income or loss. We can see here 65,000 are here 95,000 cost. This is the margin of profit, contribution margin, but here cost is 90,000. I mean loss 25,000. This is the 25,000 lost. And here contribution margin 65,000 and total fixed cost 90,000. So there is a loss 25,000. Here contribution margin 325,000 and fixed cost 90,000. So there is a profit or income 235,000. So this is the contribution format income statement. You will get clear idea about the difference between variable costing and absorption costing after discussing this income statement. Here we can see this is the absorption costing income statement. You can see in the absorption costing, in product cost we show all the cost, full cost. This is the calculation we have done. In absorption costing we have shown unit product cost by including the fixed manufacturing overhead. Here we can see this is the unit product cost in January 95,000, here February 60,000 and March 42,500. Here we can see 95,000 and they have sold 1 unit, so 95,000, and in 60,000 1 unit 60,000, but in March they have sold 5 units, and from this 5 units 1 unit taken from the February, and since the product cost from February is 60,000, so this 60,000 plus they have produced 4 unit and the product cost is 42,500. So we will multiply this 42,500 with the 4 for getting the product cost for 4 unit, and this 1 unit is taken from the March. We can see in March they have produced 4 unit but they have sold 5 units. How is it possible? Because in February they have produced 2 units but they have sold 1 unit. That means 1 unit remained as a ending inventory, which is used as a opening inventory. I mean this 1 and this 4 production, ultimately they have sold 5 units. That means from this 5 units sold they have taken 1 unit from the February. We can see that in February the product cost is 60,000. So this 60,000 1 unit and this 42,500. Here we can see 42,500 is the product cost for March, and in February 60,000. So 1 unit 60,000 and 4 unit 42,500. They have sold 5 units in March. So ultimately the cost under the absorption costing for 5 units is 2,30,000. So these are the cost of goods sold. I mean the product cost which have been sold. And this is the difference. Variable costing we have shown only the variable portion. Here we can see 25,000, but in absorption costing we are showing all the cost. All the cost means we have included fixed manufacturing overhead. This one fixed manufacturing overhead with the other 3. That's why the figure is higher. However, after deducting the full costing from the sales, we will get the gross margin or gross profit. This is the gross margin or gross profit. If we deduct the cost of goods sold 95,000 from the sales 100,000, then we will get the gross margin. In the same way, the gross margin from February is 40,000 and in March to 70,000. And from this gross margin we will deduct the selling and administrative expense. In selling and administrative expense we will show all the selling and administrative expense. Here you can see variable selling and administrative expense. In absorption costing we don't classify variable costing or fixed costing. Just we will show on the basis of category. Here we can see all the selling and administrative expense. Variable selling and administrative expense is 10,000 and it will depend on the units sold. Here we can see 1, 1 and 5. After multiplying by 1, 1 and 5 we can see these are the variable selling and administrative expense, and fixed selling expense is 20,000. So 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. Ultimately total selling and administrative expenses 30,000, 30,000, 70,000. By adding these two items we are getting this 30,000, 30,000 and 70,000. From this gross margin we will deduct the total selling and administrative expense. Here we can see net operating income, but there is loss in January, 25,000 loss, in February 10,000 profit, and in March 20,000 profit. So here is the main difference. Here you can see in February under the variable costing there is a loss 25,000, but in absorption costing in February there is a profit 10,000. That means by using the absorption costing, the company managers can show profit or increase profit. Why there is a difference between these two approach? Reason would be discussed in the next slide. A company managers can increase the profit under the absorption costing, and by increasing profit they can increase their bonus. How is it possible? The reason would be discussed in the next slide, but for your clear understanding you can see in absorption costing a managers can show higher profit. In absorption costing the profit is higher than the variable costing. We can see in February there is a loss 25,000, but in absorption costing in February there is a profit. The differences occur between the net operating income under variable costing and absorption costing is that in absorption costing we show all the cost. Here we can see we have shown fixed manufacturing overhead, I mean all cost in the unit product cost, and here we can see 35,000. Since our main difference arises in the month of February, that's why I am focusing this amount. We can see in February we have added fixed manufacturing overhead 35,000 per unit, but you should notice one important thing is that in February you have produced 2 units but you have sold 1 unit. That means 1 unit has been transferred to the inventory. That means this 35,000 cost is not shown as an expense, rather it is shown as a inventory or asset in the balance sheet. That's why you are showing less cost, and since you are showing less cost, that's why there is a higher profit in the February. That means the main difference arises due to the difference between the production and sold. Here production unit is 2 but you have sold 1 unit. That means whenever you produce more but sell less, in that scenario the company managers can increase the profit because you are showing the fixed manufacturing overhead in the product cost, but since you are transferring the product cost as an inventory by not selling the product, then there will be a less cost. Whenever you are showing less cost, there will be a higher profit. However, for clear understanding, we can see this 35,000. This is the reconciliation of variable costing and absorption costing. In variable costing, we have seen that our profit or loss in January, February, March is in January 25,000 loss, in February 25,000 loss, and in March 2,35,000 is the profit. But in absorption costing the loss is 25,000 in January and there is a 10,000 profit. Why there is a difference? Because this 35,000 is the fixed cost which is not shown in the cost category because 1 unit is unsold and unsold unit is transferred to the balance sheet as an asset. It is not shown as a cost. This 35,000 will increase the profit. That is the main difference. And for your practical purpose, if you want to know what would be the fixed manufacturing overhead which is causing the difference in the net operating income, you can calculate that fixed manufacturing overhead by using this formula. Here you can see the manufacturing overhead deferred. Deferred means you are not showing this cost. By applying the deferred method, you are showing the cost as a inventory or asset in the balance sheet. To calculate the fixed manufacturing overhead deferred in realized from inventory, we should deduct the fixed manufacturing overhead in beginning inventory from the fixed manufacturing overhead in ending inventories. By using this formula, we can calculate this amount. And this is the process of reconciliation of variable costing and absorption costing net operating income. I mean, you are showing why there is a difference and how to reconcile the difference. Here you can see in both cases we have shown same profit by reconciling this 35,000 deferred manufacturing fixed cost. And if you have a question in your mind that why there is a difference between the net operating income under variable costing and absorption costing, here you can see the reasons are described in the table. If the company can produce and sold in the same amount, then there will be no difference. I mean, if the production amount and the sold amount is same, there would be no difference between the net operating income under absorption costing and variable costing. But in case of huge production but less sold unit, in that case there will be a higher inventory, and in this higher inventory the managers can show the fixed manufacturing overhead as an asset, not as a expense. As a result, since you are showing less expense, there will be a higher income in the absorption costing income statement. That means the main reasons behind this difference is that whenever a company produce more products but sell less unit, in that case the net operating income would be higher under the absorption costing. And in case of less production and higher units sold, there will be a low income under absorption costing. From this table you can get idea what is the process. A managers can increase the bonus from the profit under absorption costing if the managers can produce more products, but if there is less sale, I mean sale is lower than the production, in that case there will be a higher profit, and from the higher profit the manager can get higher bonus. Thank you. This is the first part of this chapter. In the second part we will learn about the segment reporting.